Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tapping back in, and thank you for joining the conversation with me today. I will be talking about how growing up without a family and how it shifted my view with friendship. Before I jump into the video, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys who reached out to me, whether it was via the comments, DM, messaging, whatever channel you chose to reach out to me after my last girl talk. I really appreciate it. I feel comforted knowing that I'm not the only one, but I feel better knowing that God is with me and He's also with you. And so I just want to say thank you guys. I don't want to spend too much time here, but just know that my heart is in total gratitude for you guys and this community that I have here on YouTube as well as all my other platforms. But without further ado, let's jump into this getting ready with me chit chat, because I have a 6 o'clock reservation in Boston and it's 3 o'clock now, and I'm carpooling with one of my girls. I will try to vlog, and if I did vlog and if it's up, I will link it right here, even if it comes up after this video. But let's get started. As always, make sure you have your water because we have to stay hydrated, especially since summer is pretty much here. But not really today, because out here in Massachusetts it's like 55 degrees. I don't know what's going on, but hey, nonetheless. Already started my face. I only used 2 products for my skincare this morning. I only used my I washed my face with Dr. Bronner's, the unscented one. And then I used the Rose, Deep Hydration Oil Infused Serum. I spoke about this in my last skincare video, but I don't think I ever did a morning routine with you guys. But I kept it really light today. So I used this, and then I topped it off with my sunscreen. And this stuff is pretty much almost empty. I love it. And so I'll be using this as my primer today. And my makeup of choice, because I know I will probably be filming definitely going to be taking pictures with my girls because I haven't seen them in so long. So I will be going in with my Makeup Forever HD Skin, and I will link all of the products, even if I don't mention it right now in this video, like right here. If I don't mention it out loud, it will always be linked in the description bar below. And so thank you for your support in clicking those links. Let's start. And what will I use for my concealer? I'll be using Too Faced concealer because y'all know how I get down. I think I might do my my nose contour thing in this video as well. Talking about family and friendships for me is always going to be somewhat uncomfortable, but not really, only because it's my life and I love my life. I love the life that God has allowed me to have. Actually, let's shape out the brows first. Today I'm shaping my brows out in the beginning because I have not gotten them done. I tweezed it a little bit, but they still need some help. But yeah, so it's my life, and sometimes some people can get a little sensitive about stuff like this, but here we go. So growing up, I didn't have cousins around me. In my family, it's literally just me, my brother, my little sister, and it goes my brother, me, and then my sister, if you want to go in order by birth, my mom, and my dad when he was alive. And so that was always us, without a doubt. With everything going on since I was born, it was always just the 5 of us. I would have my uncle who would come and visit us for holidays and different Sundays. But I didn't know he had kids like that. I met my cousin Martha, my cousin Rosa. Me, Rosa, and my siblings would play steel pan together. But we didn't really hang out when I was growing up. I pretty much met her, I think middle school age, and she was like, she's older than me, but we look so much alike. It's so funny. I love my cousin Rosa. But yeah, so when we would grow up, my brother and sister and I, we didn't really have like a cousin's house that we'd go to and we'd be like, oh yeah, we're with my cousins, blah 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 blah. Like, no, that didn't happen. We never really went to we didn't do some of the normal things most people did, like go to family cookouts or go to family reunions or, you know, different things like that. And I realized that was a lot of opportunities that we would have had to grow in our relationship skills, like building up our relationship and how we speak to people, how do we communicate with people, and different things like that. And I'm kind of understanding it more as I get older, but like growing up, we didn't have those environments for us. Like, I remember my parents owned a store. I shared this in one of my videos before, like the Get to Know Me. My parents had a store. My brother and sister and I, we had an amazing imagination since most of our summer days would be at the store playing around as my mom would prepare. Like, she would cook at the store even while she was manning the store because we didn't have employees like that. But yeah, so like I didn't really have that growing up. I met one of my closest cousins after my father died, and he now lives in California with his wife and his beautiful children. But like even with that, I met him my junior year of high school. I didn't meet him when I was like younger. And this was the uncle that would come by our house all the time. And I just think if you're Caribbean, you could identify more with me on this. But the Caribbean family dynamics is very different than the African American dynamics. And I'm not speaking African American as in like first generation born that come from like Ghana or Nigeria or, you know, Zimbabwe, etc. I'm talking about African American, like your family was a part of the slave trade here in America, and it's really hard for you to trace your roots, like the Southern African Americans. Like, I hope I'm making sense. And I don't want anyone to be offended by this video. This is me speaking from where I'm at, my point of view. This is no judgment, but this is just something I've witnessed and I've went through. So with the Caribbean culture, the way we see family is similar but yet very different. At least I can say. So like my father, his brother, yes, he was around us all the time. And yes, we met his daughter Martha and his granddaughter Rosa. But part of that was because of the relationship my parents had with his kids, not really like him with us. And maybe that's because it was before our time, nonetheless. But we never really spoke about it. Like, even after my dad died, we barely talked about family stuff because, one, it was very sensitive after my father died. I was still very young, and it's some of those things that you can't just teach people or talk to people about because it really takes a different level of maturity. But we'll get back to that. So when I look at my friendships with people, I really see friends as family for the most part. And even when friendships change based on whether it's seasonal, lifetime, you know, whatever it may be, I still see people as my family because you're like part of my life, and that's just that. But before I jump into that part, like my mom's side of family, I had a cousin that would come visit us when we were younger. She's a lot older than us. She now lives in Canada with her son, but like she would watch us when we were little. But obviously that type of relationship was more like auntie vibes because she's not really our same age, right? And even when she brought her son around us, I probably saw my cousin I only saw him once. And he's like probably 23 years old now. And when I saw him, it was, I think I just had graduated 8th grade. He had to be about like 5. But like, even with that, the age gap, right? My cousin Martha had a young son, and I was around him when he was very small, but I haven't seen him in so many years. And my cousin lives literally, you know, in Boston. I could literally go and see her, but I don't know, part of it, and I take accountability, like if you desire a relationship with someone, you should go out and make sure you make that a thing. And it goes both ways. Like, communication goes both ways. But it makes me think like, okay, like, wow, like, relationships can be so important to you if you make the time for it. But going to the topic of seeing how I view my friendships, I've realized that I've made a lot of friends in my life, and I thank God that I have, but I also realized that it was very unhealthy for me to also make friends in this capacity, because if I was ever hurt by them, it could have easily, you know, destroyed the relationship. Just based on not really having the communication skills on how to talk with people, how to resolve conflict and stuff like that. So like, I remember, and this is a little separate from what we were talking about right now, but like, some of my closest friends I met through school. So like, I have a friend that was like and you know, I know people get weird with the terms best friend and sissy and stuff like that, because, you know, people put too much emphasis on relationships and not realize that, like, hey, relationships change and that's okay. But I had a best friend in, like, before elementary school, who kind of trickled into elementary, a middle school best friend, I've had a high school best friend, and then I've had friends that just came along the way that I call sister, or like sisters, and different things like that. Which is interesting, because when you call someone your sister, that means like, yo, I see you as family, right? And so like, in some of my other videos, I've talked about friendships, and so if you haven't seen that, you can click the link above to go, you know, add that to your queue, or maybe at the end of this video, you can press it. But when I think about how I see my friendships, I'm like, yo, I really don't see them as friendships. I really do see them as family members. And so growing up, not having that ability to be with people, not being able to, you know, connect and say, hey, we grew up together, look at our pictures when we were little, remember when my mom did this, remember when your aunt did that, blah, 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 blah. I don't have that. And maybe you do, and that's incredible and that's great, but it's really difficult to feel like, ooh, y'all, I hate when foundations squirt and then like, they get on the worst things. Like, I just pulled out this clean towel because it was like time for me to swap out, and I just pumped my foundation and it just squirted all over the towel. But anyways, I just lost my train of thought. Give me a moment. Ooh, this is a lot messier than I expected it, y'all. But yeah, so I look at my friendships as family. Even with the people that I'm meeting, the girls, the women, the young women that I'm meeting today, we're all around the same age. I'm actually the youngest one out of all of us. But that doesn't make me any less of a friend in that capacity, because we're all in different stages of our life. But when I think of them, I'm like, Lord, I thank you for them, because they're family to me. I don't have that many cousins my age. Oh, let me go back to my mom's side. So my mom's side of family, they're mostly in Guyana. And there have been a few that moved down to New York that I do my best to communicate with. I could always be better. But I do my best to communicate with them, make sure they feel loved. And then other than New York, it's Canada. And that's that. I have only one cousin who is literally like a couple months older than me. She lives in Guyana. Yes, the barrier with communication could be better. Again, both ends. But it's hard. Like, if I'm completely honest, it's hard to build a relationship with family when they live far and you can't really see them. So like, every time I go to Guyana, I love being there because I get to really form my relationship with my family members as well as Emmanuel's family, because that's now my family as well. And it's difficult in a sense because, again, communication styles are different. Like in Guyana, they have a certain type of communication style compared to like what I would have here in America. But like I'm close to some of my younger cousins because I realize that I want to be there for them, especially when they go through their life. I want them to look back and say, you know, I thank God that my cousin Angel thought about me and she reached out to me, so I could have this relationship and I didn't feel alone. Not saying my family members intended for me to not feel loved, but it is part of, you know, something that happens. And my father's side of family, just to touch on that real quick, we have family all over the place. Vancouver, Vancouver, we have, where else do we have? Vancouver, why am I blanking? New York. My mom says I have some cousins in Florida, definitely Massachusetts, California, like I said earlier. But even with those, I don't know any of my dad's family back home in Trinidad. And that's a deeper conversation for another time. But going back, I feel like sometimes I could get a little out of place and stuff, but I hope you're tracking with me. But yeah, so when I see my friends, I think of them as family. And it could become very dangerous because if you see friends as family, you think family means forever. And I've come to learn that family does not always mean forever. Yes, I didn't get to choose my family. And you know the saying, they say, friends are the family that you get to choose. And so thank God for that too, right? But I recognize that even with that, having such high regard for friends and not realizing, you know, or not asking God, like, God, are these people that you want me to be in community with? Or are these people that I need to, like, you know, just be aware of, you know? And what does that look like for us? Because obviously when you create a relationship with someone, you don't think, oh yeah, we're gonna only be friends for a season. Like, no, you think, okay, I'm gonna be friends with this person, period. I'm not gonna stop being friends with them or whatever. You think this is forever. And forever's not for everyone. Believe it or not, forever's not for everyone. Not everybody desires to have friendships that last forever. And that's just the truth. Not everyone desires that. And that's their business. Neither here nor there. I've also realized that when I am around, and I've shared this with some of my friends who I'm also friends with, like their other family members and stuff like that. Sometimes it's easy to feel out of place when you're around your friend and they have, you know, they have all their family around them. And not from a standpoint of, oh, are you jealous or are you insecure? No. Not that at all. It's more so like, how can I fit in when you guys have already established a relationship and you guys all have this closeness that I desire to have with you, but I also respect and acknowledge that I'm not trying to be like, oh, you should love me more than your cousin. That's not it. I'm saying, like, for example, out at an event with my friends, let's just say they're cousins, we're all around the same age. We all love each other, respect each other, but how can we feel like, you know, like we can mesh without overthinking things like, oh, or feeling cliquey? Because I don't know if I'm making sense, but like, I've been around some friends where I've been to like their family events, and obviously it's a family event with friends because friends are family that you choose. How do you not feel like I'm the outsider, or I'm invited, but am I really accepted here? And I think it comes back down to knowing your relationship with that person. I'm at a point where I know where my relationships are with people, and I'm not pressed or stressed. And I just allow things to unfold the way they need to unfold. I don't stress about it because it's not up to me to stress about it. You know, I trust that my relationships will last with the people that God has placed in my life, and I acknowledge that. But it's a real feeling like, oh, are we really friends, or are we not really friends? Or not like, are we not really friends, but like, am I seeing our relationship more than what you see it as? Because that's real. There's times where that has come up where I'm like, ooh, I don't know if our relationship's really good, because I feel outcasted, or I feel out of the group, you know. And it could turn into feeling very hurtful, and even with cultural differences. And it's unintentional, because it's not like these people want you to feel bad or anything like that. Not at all. It's more like what you're processing, because, you know, the world makes us feel like we should, like, if you have a community, it should always be like perfect or something, but it's not. But yeah, I've had very different conversations with a lot of my different friends, you know, about friendships and families, and, you know, how you view friendships are different. Is it different from how I view friendship and family? But I don't know. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Because I don't want to feel like I did this get ready with me and it made no sense. But if you're someone that grew up not really having family around, do you understand where I'm coming from? Where it's like, oh, I didn't really have family growing up, and I do see my friends as my family, but when I'm around their family, I know I'm not their family. And sometimes it feels weird. Do you feel that? Or is it just me? Let me know in the comments. Going on the topic of calling someone your sister, I love hard. I love my friends. Like, when I tell you I love my friends, I love them. Like, yes, time can pass, but that does not change how I feel about my friends. Sorry, I had to make that evil face because my forehead be looking a little crispy sometimes. Not crispy, but it be having that oh man, why did I do it like that? It be having that weird line, a crease. It be creasing. But yeah, so I love my friends, and I love them hard. I love them so much. I love my friends. I have a ton of, like, so you know how you have your circles, like, and every friend is different. You got your carefree friend. Actually, my mentor wrote a really good book about friendships and like the different types of friendships. And so if it's still for sale, I'll link it. It's a children's book, but I really think it helps women as well, because we were never really given a manual to navigate through friendships. But nonetheless, and then we did a Bible study also about friendships that I really think is good, so I'll probably link that book below as well. But when I say I love my friends, I absolutely love my friends. There is nothing I won't do for a friend. If I call you my sister, I will move things around. I will shift the atmosphere for you, my friend. Is this gonna be too light for my contour? Let's see, I just want to set my contour on my nose. No, it's not too light. I know it's probably looking hello. I don't want to say hello. I know it's looking very harsh on camera, but in person it looks really great. Or maybe it doesn't look harsh on camera, I'm just bugging. But yeah. I love my friends. I love them deeply. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my friends. It doesn't matter if I haven't talked to you in a while. If I called you my sister, if I called you a dear friend of mine, I mean it, and I will never change that standpoint. Unless we both agree to go our separate ways. And I've had friendships that go separate ways, and it hurts. Friendship breakups hurt. especially if you're someone like me, as I said earlier, that sees friends as family. But also acknowledging that not everyone's meant to be in your life forever, and we still celebrate those friendships that came, saw, and conquered, etc. I want to put face powder on. I'm going to go with my toothpaste. Love it. I'm going to warm up my cheeks with some... Did I use this brush for that before? I think I did. Some of my MAC powder. But yeah, friendship breakups are hard, and it's difficult because, especially when you see them as family, because you're like, you want them in your life. Like, I have a friend and I miss her so much. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know what happened. But I pray that she's okay. I actually reached out to one of my friends who is a mutual friend of ours, because I guess we had a falling out. I don't know. Or she just decided to go a different way in her lifestyle. And I found out that she's doing good. So I'm like, okay, word. Like, I acknowledge that we're probably not going to be where we're at. The last time I talked to her, we were good. When I found out that she was doing well, it made me feel even better and more at peace, because I was just like, I hope that, she's not going through anything traumatic, or, there's like, I just hope she's alive. I hope she's alive, and I hope she's well. Even with that, it's like, when friendships fizzle out, how do you maneuver around that and not get hypersensitive and think that it's a personal attack on you? Because it's very easy to feel like someone, if they're choosing not to be a part of your life, is saying to you like, oh, I'm not being a part of your life anymore because you did this. But sometimes it's just we went in different areas. Our lives shifted, and that's okay. But yeah, I don't know. No, let me not say that, because I do know. I do know. I know that I love my friends. I know that I am constantly learning how to be a better communicator. And I'm constantly learning how to show up for people, as well as showing up for myself by, having healthy boundaries, because we always have to go through our boundaries and see, are we really protecting our space? Are we, protecting our peace? Are we, protecting our mental health? Or are we just people pleasing? Are we just, doing things to be seen or be heard, or, to be included? I want to do a nice little bright lid, but I don't want color. I just want matte. I'll go with mango. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted. But yeah, what are some of the things that you guys do to keep your relationships healthy, especially your friendships? Are you someone like me who didn't grow up with cousins, so you see friendships as family? Or is it hard for you to create relationships with people because you don't have that? Because one thing I realized, and I see it even with my mom, like my mom, being that she moved here, from Guyana, she actually moved to Trinidad, and then had some really great friends when she went to Trinidad. Came here after she got married. Well, she got married up here in America. But, even with that, it's like my mom's friendships are different compared to like my friendships. And it's not saying that they're less than or anything like that. It's more like, wow, I recognize that, community is so important to have. Because when you don't have community, you feel sometimes like all you have, like I feel like sometimes my mom sees it as, oh, us kids are her everything, regardless if she had friends or not. A mom is always going to think her kids are their everything. seeing that she doesn't have like a very, very close friend, or she doesn't have a group of women where she's like, yeah, you know, these are my people. It's more like, you know, she contacts my cousins who are around her age, if not a little younger, because she comes from a big family. She has mad siblings, and they had mad kids when they were, obviously they're older than her, so she's the baby girl. But yeah, so she connected with a lot of their kids, so like she's always on the phone with them, blah 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 blah. But anyways, it just makes me look at relationships in an interesting way. And so when I look at friendships and, like, you know, based on my relationship that I have with family, you know, I do desire to have a better relationship with my family. I am willing and I am trying to work on, you know, that relationship, as well as the friendships that I do have, you know, making sure I'm giving people their time as well as their space, vice versa. But it's interesting, you know, and I'm really asking God for wisdom in the areas of friends and family, because I want to be a good friend to my friends, and I want to be a good family member to my family members. I feel like I could contour out a little bit more, and maybe I could etch out my cheeks a little bit more. I don't know. I feel like I'm good though. I'm kind of glad I recorded this for you guys, because she's looking real cute. Sometimes I like doing a nice heavy contour, but that could sometimes backfire. Because y'all see how light my chest is. But yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this chit chat. I really am interested in knowing how you guys look at friendships and relationships like that. I do know that all my friends, they do love me, and even as I'm getting older, I'm looking at my community. I'm just like, okay. I'm looking at them like, okay, y'all, we are really like here. Like, it's weird to me sometimes to know that I'm an adult. Like, is that weird to say? But like, it's weird to me to know that I am an adult, bro. Like, I'm a whole adult. Don't mess with me. But yeah, I'm about to pop these lashes on, and then I gotta do my hair. Oh, you know what? I want to talk a little bit about, you know, even looking at my husband's family and how his family dynamics. Oh, where's my lash glue? How his family dynamics are so different than mine as well. Like, my husband comes from a big family. Praise the Lord. They come from a big family. They have a lot of different personalities and, you know, different things like that. But even with that, you know, seeing how his family dynamic is compared to mine, and, like, you know, not judging, obviously, as I said before, but seeing how they do things as a family is different than how we do things. And mind you, my husband and I are from the same cultural backgrounds. But even with that being said, seeing how communication styles can be different, and how we can skip the word. How we can use those things to really build on how we want to see our family moving forward. I'm gonna grab my lash glue. The word was implement. I figured it out. Oh, growing and thinking about how we're gonna implement certain things from his family and my family for our growing family, as well as you know, his siblings and my siblings. Like, it's so different. It's so weird being an adult. Like I wonder if my mom, well, obviously she had to do stuff like this, trying to connect with my father's family, you know, and, you know, what things are we going to build together to make sure our families are healthy with communication. Oh wow, it's 3:20. I gotta hurry up. I know you're probably like, why do you have to hurry up if you have a 6 o'clock reservation? It's in Boston, y'all. It's like an hour away, depending on traffic. And it's Friday. So Friday night, you know what happens. Everybody and their mama outside. Might go in with a little bit of chestnut as well. I'm going to actually be using this different color lipstick. I'm not doing a nude lip tonight. I'm gonna be doing a pink. Ah! Sometimes when I overline my bottom lip, it looks like I drooled. I don't know, I feel like it looks like I drooled. I don't know, I got mixed reviews when I line my lips. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I don't like doing it on clients though. I don't know, not every lip is, you gotta know who you could do it on. I'm gonna wait till after I do my lashes before I put this on. This is cute. But yeah. Friendships, family, and also have some grace for people, y'all. I wish there was more grace in the areas that we can give people for relationships, because nobody knows, like, nobody knows everything. Like, and that's the truth. Have grace for your parents. I know if it depends on how old you are. If you're a high schooler watching this video, hey baby girl. Have grace for your parents because they're trying to figure it out, y'all. Have grace for your siblings and your friends. Sometimes we assume that our friends should know what we know, our siblings should know what we know. But I mean, you can't move like that. Sometimes it's better to communicate and say, hey, you know, I'm not sure if you knew this, or hey, I saw that you wrote this, or hey, I saw that you said this, or hey, in our family chat that, or hey, when we went out last time, I remember you said blah blah blah. Really try to understand where people are coming from before you think that they just are being rude or mean, or you know, whatever the case may be. Show grace. I remember when I had this really good conversation with one of my friends, and I told her, like, you know, hey, sometimes I feel left out. She was like, oh my gosh, I never want you to feel like that. But the only way she would have knew that I felt left out was because I said something to her, you know? And you know, I didn't feel like it was a personal thing. But like, even telling her that was a big step, because God was showing me, like, hey, if you really care about this relationship, you have to speak up. If not, you're going to hold these things against people and not realize that it's not their intentions that you feel this way. It's how you are processing this. Because at the end of the day, you can only be accountable for you. Oh, I love this beat right now. I think she looks really good. These lashes. I love these lashes. I know you guys are always asking me, what lashes are these? I will put them up soon. I'm actually gonna sell them because they're so great. They are long. I wouldn't, okay, so guys, lashes are it always depends on the person, the event, and the place that you're going. I'm going somewhere where I know, one, it's gonna be evening. I don't have to worry about no shadows, because I would never wear these going out to lunch, especially if you're gonna take pictures in the sun, because lunchtime is usually between 12 and 1. The sun is at the top, and so it creates a shadow underneath your eye, and it's ugly. Because I'm going out to dinner, I love wearing these big long lashes because, one, it's not gonna create a shadow. Most likely gonna be taking flash photography, which is front on. But yeah. Also, the women that I go with, they're gonna slay. Okay? They will be slaying. So therefore, I shall slay as well. Ooh, yes. Yes. But yeah, extend grace to people. And when you have those uncomfortable, tough conversations with people, remember that you're coming to them in a place to understand, not to put your opinions on them, but to also love and grow with each other. Like, whenever I've gotten into uncomfortable conversations, my end goal is not to be seen as, oh, the one that's right, or I'm right and you're wrong. No. I want to understand where they're coming from. I want them to understand where I'm coming from. And not only that, I want us to leave the conversation feeling like, oh my gosh, we are still loved by one another. Let's go with this pink, baby. I feel like I'm my mother's daughter when I wear pink. Pink anything, but mostly pink lips, because my mom loves a fuchsia pink lip. I like that this color is buildable. I wish it was a little more, maybe I just need to buy a color like that, but a little more opaque versus like this gloss type of look. I do realize when I let the product dry, it gets a little tacky. I'm excited to see my girls. One flew into town, and so seeing her is gonna just mean everything to me, because I love her so much. Even that relationship, like God preserved our friendship. The enemy was straight up trying to keep us from being, you know, in agreement, and we both learned a lot about forgiveness. Oh my gosh, yes, definitely. Oh, I love my friends. I love my friends. I wish this color looks more like the case right now. Maybe part of the reason is because the liners I use. I wonder, hold on, I want to try this thing. This may or may not go the way I want it to go, because now my lips are looking a little more red. But I got this color for my kit. I never used it on a client yet, but ooh, yes. This is the color that I want. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, I don't think I need any more because I can use what's on this brush. Again, another Maybelline. I think I'm gonna kiss some napkin, just because I know I put a lot of product on. I don't want this to mess up anything. Okay. I hope I don't regret this later. I haven't worn color lips in so long. It's reminding me of the days we'd wear like heroin lipstick. If you know, you know. One of my cousin's wife, who I call like a sister to me, she'd always tell me, "Can you wear color lips?" Because she loves the way I do makeup. But she's like, "You always do a nude lip." She's in Guyana. Love that. Okay. Ooh, yes. I'm gonna let that just dry down a little bit, and then I'll go in with the original gloss that I went in with. So I used this first. This is the color Artist, and then I'm gonna go in with this, and it's called Capricious. But sticky, it's cute. should probably keep this for myself. I never used it. Like, I literally just broke the seal. Because I might bring it with me to touch up. It is sticky. That's the one thing that I think is weird about like stains. Some of them are sticky. Like, I don't know. Ooh, I gotta do my hair. Alright, my towel's probably gonna drop a lot when I do this, so I might have to just crop it. But I am gonna do my baby doll under eye. Some people are like, you can miss me with this step. But whenever I take photos and everyone's like, oh my gosh, your falsies on the bottom. Like, nope, they're not falsies. They are, in fact, eyeliner strips. Little. And then I'll take some mascara. Just very lightly. I feel like I might cry when I see all of them. I did this flexi rod set and I didn't really like the outcome. Don't have time to put heat on my hair. Let me actually, before I start, yeah, so I did it on blow dried hair and wasn't really a fan. So it's a no. She just feels gross and it looks like a frizzy mess. And we don't like that. And so what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm just gonna do my standard low bun. It's safe, it's clean, it's classic. There's no surprises. Yeah, because I could go with this, like, I don't know, I just feel like it's too poofy. I could go with this whole, like, I just feel like it's like Hollywood, black Hollywood glam. But I feel like the product that I used, because I didn't use a mousse, and maybe if I used a mousse it would have been better. But like, I feel like I will look like undone or just not my best self. Like, I'm pretty sure someone's looking at this like, girl, you're bugging, your hair looks so good. It's kind of growing on me right now. Like, I don't know. Let's take a selfie, see how I feel. Okay, so I took some selfies. I feel like they look cute, but I don't know. Part of me says go for it, take the chance, go with the big vivacious hair. Part of me is like, don't do it, girl. You're not gonna like it. Maybe if I had some hair sheen. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go for it. We're gonna be indoors. The sun's now out. Thank you, Lord. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna just sleek my edges, or as some like to call, baby hairs. Maybe that will give me some more smoothing feel. I'm sure I have a product that would probably make this style look a lot better. Ooh, my camera's overheating, so I'll be back for the finished look. Maybe I shouldn't wear white because I don't get it messy, because I don't know how these girls about to be hugging. But this is the finished look. Cute, yeah. Got this little racer top. Got these skinny pants on. They're like jeggings, honestly. I'm debating if I want to switch them out, but the goal is to take pictures before I eat, because yeah, once I eat, it's game over. But yeah, here I am. Here she is. She's cute. We're just gonna rock it and go from there. Thank you so much for joining me in this Get Ready With Me. Be sure to click one of these 2 videos if you would like to see more content from me. Until next time, you are beautiful, you are blessed, you are brilliant. Don't you ever let anyone dim your light. And until next time, peace.